Hey guys, so coming back on with our hibiscus earrings, and I'm so excited to get these through the next phase. So I want to get the fronts finished up so that we can get these ready to, I was like, ready to rumble. Sorry. Ready to roll and be given. So you'll remember I left my green tacky stuff on my little tray. So I am just pushing these down onto that tacky stuff, making them as flat as I can, keeping them as even as possible so that they will form accordingly. Okay. So jump right in. We've got our UV viscosity. UV, let's resin, UV resin. And I'm going to just put a dollop, my goodness, a dollop of daisy. I just can't stop these little things that are coming to mind when I say something. A little dollop of resin kind of in the center, just circling and coming full circle. And then I will take a a silicone brush to brush these out to the edges without hopefully going over the edge, because obviously we want them to be as close to the edge as possible without actually going over. So again, it's just, gently bringing the resin to the edge. And this time I do want this to level out a little bit more. I want to be conscious of making sure that we get a full coverage as well as an even coverage. So if I have to, I'll apply a little bit more to get us through, to get this fully covered. Because this is the part where we want to really have a nice finish, so that we basically only have to do this round and one other round, hopefully, to finish these off. Coats of resin. The 3D now, so this one is making it a little bit hard to make sure that I'm getting the whole surface covered. It's giving a very 3D effect, making it a smidge challenging, but we've got this. So I'm just kind of coming around. I'm watching to make sure none of them spread out too much while I'm working on the others. I just kind of check and make sure that I'm not having one get crazy and have spillage over the edge. Again, it would be fixable, but if we don't have to fix something, then that's nicer. It's like, yes, can we fix it? Absolutely. Do we want to? Not really. So why, if we can avoid it, why not avoid it? Basically. Yep, looks good. I'm gonna get this one moving because I'm afraid trying to right there get a little too crazy on us. And truthfully, we need more to this side. And the nice thing is that we've already gotten the paper to absorb a lot of the resin, so this is just applying it and making it smooth across the tops. So it's not having to, paper is already absorbed what it can, and these are solid pieces that we're working with now. And again, we did their back sides already so that we wouldn't have to worry about if we do have an overflow situation. If we make the back side be a little rough, it's not the end of the world. This one was trying to, and it was almost like I had maybe a smidge too much, so I transferred to the one that seemed like it had a smidge too small of amount. So, you know, just again, kind of coming to our edges without actually bringing it over. That's the trick. So slow but surely. There we go. And I'm making sure I get up our stem because I want that stem to get some nice resin covered on it, because we want it to have a solid surface too, because you want them to be durable. You know, it's not like they should be being worn in the shower, but you know, if somebody were to get caught in a rainstorm and they were to get wet, you would like them to hold up and not just disintegrate. Okay, this one. Trying to see if that one. Oh, good. Oh, my dogs are running wild. I have to kick them out. I don't know why. Like, they have a whole area to go play in. You don't need to get all rowdy. So this one might need a smidge more. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to tell because the 3D effect of the pedaling and the look that we have. I'm going to add just another little drop here. And then I'm going to use our ladder just to kind of go over, pop some bubbles that maybe have come up so that we can get them out of there. And again, when you're doing your ladder, you're just doing very surface level. You're getting close to the resin, but hopefully aren't touching the resin, because you do not want to catch the resin on fire. It is flammable, so you just got to be careful. And you got to remember we have paper under this, so it could very easily catch that on fire. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't particularly want to do that. So, use with caution. Alright, we're going to go 2 minutes under, and then we'll do another layer on that, and be able to get that taken care of. Hopefully once we do the next layer, then we'll be good to go, and so forth. Then we should be able to drill our hole and make our earrings. That's going to be the goal, to make these into earrings. And if we have to, we'll do a 3rd layer, but I'm really hoping 2 layers is sufficient, because again, I don't want to end up with something super thick. I want to keep that dainty thin layer kind of going. So that's what we have rolling so far. So we'll keep going. And doing it in layers makes a big difference, for sure. So it's just a matter of letting it be. Okay. They look really good. The true test is when I get them pulled out and I feel them, because we'll feel any imperfections that we might need to clean up or adjust. I would say don't do more than probably the 8 that I'm doing if you try to do, excuse me, if you try to do too many in a row or all together like that, you could end up with more flaws on them just because you wouldn't have enough time to get them under the light to cure, etc. So, oh, they feel really good. I do think one more coat is going to be beneficial just because the edges of the petals are just still a little flimsy, but overall I think they are right on par where we want them. So again, I'm just going to go through and put a little bit of the resin just kind of in the center, almost like a dollop of it. These pinkish light ones are smaller, so they definitely don't need as much as these bigger ones need, because we just don't have as much surface to cover. Had to see which brush I wanted. And again, I said this in the last video, but if you, some reason, are watching out of order, which I don't suggest doing just because you're missing steps, but if you are, or if you put me on mute and then happen to tune in right here, what I would tell you is that the UV resin is going to pull to the center the longer it sits, and it's going to go to the lowest point, but it will pull itself to the center. So that's why your edges of your petals maybe don't get as thick of the resin, just because it is pulling, and our stem as well. So I'm making sure to really coat that. It's going to pull away from our edges basically, and so I just want to ensure that we have a good coat across it. And that's natural. That's what resin does. Is it pulls into the middle with itself. So now, if you didn't have a UV light, you could let these sit in the sunshine and they would eventually cure. It would take a whole heck of a lot longer, and I'd be worried about bugs and things maybe crawling or landing on it. So if you're gonna do UV resin, I highly recommend investing in a really good light or lamp. There's all sorts of ones out there. This is the one that I'm using now, is definitely not the first one that I've had, and it may not be my last, but I will tell you that I truly do love the design of this one. The other one I had was not by this brand. It was a different brand, but it only gave UV light from the top down and didn't do it from both top and bottom. At this stage of these particular earrings that we're working on, we really don't need the bottom, but also at the same time, it's like it can't hurt anything. But in earlier stages of these, it was really helpful because it does give the light from both the bottom and the top. That way, if you have colorant that you're covering, then it has more ability and more power to go through. And if we were doing a mold, this guy decided to, wasn't watching him. And I'm going to catch this one before he goes crazy. But you really are trying. This one definitely is. But I thought I'll catch that one before it goes too crazy and ends up like this one. What was I going to say? Oh, if we were using a mold, that curing from the top and the bottom is just brilliant. And honestly, when I was doing some molds with my other lamp, I was like, man, it would make sense to have a top and bottom. And as I was like thinking that and going, that would be in my mind, that would be so smart. And I kind of let that sit in my brain for a little while, maybe for like 24, 48 hours, and then I went and I looked, and Let's Resin just to come out with this dual-sided, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I happened to see it on TikTok, and I thought, I have to have this. And so I found it on Amazon, and I was like, yep, I'm catching that. And I was able to catch it on a slight discount, nothing major, but it always makes me feel better if I buy something at least a little bit on discount. Plus with Amazon, you know, I get free shipping, so I was like, heck yeah, that is the way we are gonna go and get our lamp. And I haven't looked back since doing that. It has been a wonderful decision. I wonder how much. Okay, I don't think it's a ton. Maybe some, but maybe not a ton. So I definitely would say this is, like I said, I haven't used a ton of UV lights, but this is one I really, really enjoy. They still like make new ones that are just one-sided. Let's Resin does. I've seen that they've had some newer models of that version, but I'm kind of like, why would I go back if I'm getting it from both angles? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I haven't tried. So there's definitely some resin that was sneaking underneath, so I was just kind of cleaning that up. And then we have this one, and then we'll check them for bubbles. The other advantage of using your ladder for looking for bubbles, not only is to get any of those little pesky bubbles that you might want to get out of the resin, but it also allows you to look at the piece better and really see, did I get a full coverage that I needed to? Now, please note, there are bubbles in these. They're probably already cured, and that's just how it is. But I'm seeing them when I'm doing the light, but I'm sure when we're looking at the pieces themselves, fully done, we as the artist will probably see the bubbles, but the people as the buyers and the wearer, ones wearing the pieces, aren't going to notice them. And the people commenting on the people wearing the pieces aren't going to notice them. So, you know, I'm trying to teach myself to be a little bit more relaxed about that side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do these for 3 minutes because I really want this last round to set up beautifully, because I don't want to drill into soft resin whatsoever. Now we will get while we're waiting, we can get this ready. So this handy dandy tool is fantastic. I will link one that's similar because this particular one isn't available anymore, but I will link a similar one. It's a Dremel tool, but it also comes with drill bits and things of that nature. So, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to do the smallest drill bit because I want to have wiggle room that if we need to go to the bigger drill bit, we can. But you know what? you can't go from bigger to smaller. So just how it is. So you turn this on. I usually just do it at the level 1. It has 3 levels, but level 1 is plenty. We stop this by holding this button down, and now we're able to untwist this doodad, and that is going to allow us, it allows us to take this apart. So there's that piece, and then there's this piece that was slid into there with this piece holding it together. So the way we do this part is this piece, this one's a little bit smaller, which is why I did it. Then we start getting this screwed on, and then this is our drill bit. It's gonna go in there, and then as we tighten this, it closes that gold part onto there. So now we've got our drill bit in 3 levels. So now we're ready to drill. If you try to do this right here when it's not going or when it's not stopped, you're not going to be able to untwist it. So trick is have it on, stop it. Now you can twist it on or off. I just wanted to make sure it was extra tight. And there we go. And it's just a C port. It's not a C port. It's something. It's the other one. I can't think of what that one is. But it comes with a little cord for USB, and then the other end fits in here. So it works fantastic. And that will allow us to make some drill holes for ourselves. Let's see. I need something, but I don't know where it's ended up. There it is. So I have this big old piece of cardboard that I used to drill on because it's real thick. See how thick that is? And guess what? There's my drill holes. So I find this is great to drill on because guess what? When the holes go through, there's no way I'm going to hit my table and drill a hole in my table, which would be devastating. So here they all are. Brought them out, and they feel great. And of course the tacky stuff on the box is going to be very sticky because it's gone through a few rounds underneath the lamp, but it likes to catch up on itself. So it likes to stick to itself, so just taking it and doing a quick roll over will pick up any residue off of there. And I'm just running my fingers over, making sure they feel relatively smooth. This one, I've got a little catch on it. I'll probably just buff that down, just to give it a little buff, so it's not catching the back of somebody. Let's give that another little roll. But overall, these are really stunning. I love the color on the backs even. I'm like, can I tell which ones were the thin paper? Okay, this was thick paper here, and that was thin paper. I can't tell. And that's thin, yeah. Oh, that one was definitely stuck to the back. Okay, so this is what I was trying to sort of avoid, was ending up with something like this. This is going to either have to be cut off or dremeled down and off. I'm going to see if I can carefully cut it with my scissors. And voila, it came right off with my scissors, and it's a smooth thing. I'm not even going to buff it or anything. There's the piece that came off. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but the piece right there, I was able to just right on off, and it popped off. It's actually not even fully cured, which is crazy, but I'll take it. You know, sometimes we just take the win. Take the win. Uh-oh, this one might be stuck too. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that one. But we'll get it. I'm just... Oh, I pulled that little piece of resin up on there. Let's just get this off of our shelf, our tray. All right. Oh, it came off. Okay. Okay, so we have another one of those. Just perfectly on there. So we'll see if we can get the scissors up underneath it enough to get that off. Alright, and that tacky stuff can be reused, so I just have it in this little container, stuff it back in, voila, we'll reuse it. Okay, so here's that piece, and I'm basically just taking my scissors on either side of it, trying to go up and under. It's coming, not as easy as the last one. But it's definitely, oh, there we go. Look at that. Looks good. So, yeah, that's what we have. So the next step is going to be drilling holes into them and get those in place so that then we can make earrings. I am going to leave the drilling for tomorrow. I am going to, these would be fine to drill into, but I am going to let these just sit overnight. I had enough time really to pop on and get that part done, and then I could go forward and drill them, but I'm going to leave it for tomorrow just so that I know that they fully set up, and then we'll drill holes into them and make earrings. Alright, we'll see you soon. Thanks. Hey guys. Alright, I just turned on my ring light. Okay, so we are back with these beautiful hibiscus earrings that we have started. And we are ready to drill some holes and make these into some earrings. So we need to determine where I want my hole to be. I may have to kick these doggos out again. They are being a little goofs is what I would say. I think I will go like that, and I'll probably go, should I go into that one? And that means I go into that one. Sure, why not? So I'm going to probably put this on setting 3 so that we can really get drilled through pretty quickly. And obviously you'll know when you get through, because it will give way. So now we have a hole that we'll be able to put our ring in. Okay, so I did it on the first petal, but I think on this one it's going to need to go right here. So I'm trying to go straight in and down so that it's a pretty easy access. We'll see. I might have to be a little creative with what we hook those with, but that will come in time, right? Come in time. Alright, let's go with this one right here. You don't want to have that go through too fast and jam up. That's why I went on the highest setting of spin, so that it won't get hung up in there. And you don't want to let that bit bounce around. So it's kind of a fine in between. Alright. Don't think too hard, right? That one was like, are we gonna make it through? But we did. when I brush that off, it's like it fills back in with the resin shavings, so I just go ahead and drill a little bit more, get it in. I think those are our thicker paper ones, so they're a little bit harder to get through. And that's okay. We still got it. Okay. So now it's determining if a jump ring is going to work or if I need to do... These are just so chunky, I feel like. So you could do a jump ring. These also are pretty good for certain things. They're just so chunky and heavy, I feel like. And I would need probably, I don't know, it's a good size hole. I just don't love the look of that. I don't mind it for keychains. I'm not loving it for this one. I wish I had these in like a smaller size maybe. I don't think I do. Jump rings might be the trick. Let's see. This would be another option. So these little hooks, and I'll make sure to link, whoops, link things so that you can find what you're wanting. But these would maybe work. So those I just want to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. Those just go in and clasp. Let's put that in and see what it looks like. Get us some flat nose pliers here to put that in between. I'm not going to squeeze it closed until we put our resin piece in, just because we want that to, oh, gracious. Let's see if I can fumble this a little bit more. Okay. Yep. I had to say that so that I drop it. Okay. I think I got it now. Except then I closed the hole too tight. Whew. Okay. That actually might work really good. Okay, let's try that with, is that thick paper? I think that's much. I think. No. Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty certain I could tell, but now I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know if I can tell these don't work. Okay, so that worked pretty good. We're going to try that with these too. And then we might try a jump ring with the other two of this style, just to see what we like better. Okay. This is one of those things that any like small work like this always makes me feel like my hands are massive when I know they're not. It's just makes me feel like they are. So if somebody finds a way to do these that's easier than how I'm struggling, hit me up with a tutorial on it, okay? Because clearly I am in desperate need of it. I'm just seeing if I could use my finger to get it enough tight that I could then come back with the pliers. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Yay! So then we can put a jump ring on and put our earrings on those. Alright, liking that. Let's try a regular jump ring situation. I'll go with a pretty decent sized one just because I think it's gonna need it. Oh, that was loud. Sorry, y'all. And I caught my finger in it. Okay. Had to get one of my jump ring openers so that I can open these up and make this hopefully a smidge easier. We see. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we're through. There we go. It's probably a little bit big. I probably didn't need to go that big. That's okay. We're this far in. We'll just roll with it. There we go. Just cool. Alright. Oh, come on. That other one I got lined up perfectly for a shot. And then that with my fingers. And that one I was struggling. Oh, they're cute. I like them. Okay. So let's try a smidge smaller of a jump ring. What do we say? Let's try, those were pretty big. Let's try this size. I think that might be a good one. Let's just see if that looks better on here. So let's see here. Oh yeah, got it. See? Look at that. That's beautiful. I like that. I think that works good. Right? Okay. Oh. Well, did we lose that jump ring? Well, we lost our tray to our UV light. That sounded like a woodpecker. I don't know if y'all could have heard it, but it sounded funny. Okay, that jump ring has jumped away. It might have flown to the floor. I didn't see that it went all the way to the floor, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Alrighty. Yay. Got it on there. Sweet. I always like to make sure my jump rings are good and snug, just because you don't want them coming apart. Oh, I found our jump ring. I told y'all I didn't think it fell on the floor. It was right there in front of me. Oh, Lordy. There it is. Okay. We're doing good. At least I can laugh at myself, right? I'm like, Lordy be. It's one of those where you're just like, come on, can I get my fingers to work? Can I get these to work together? And we could have probably put the next jump ring on, but we'll connect the jump ring with the earring. So that's what we'll do. I've decided I like this size, but I'm not going to go back and change those ones. Like, they're fine. That's all good. I might need to open this one a little further. Oh no, I got it. Just where that hole is with that petal, I thought maybe it would need to go a little bit better, but nope. it is good to go. I love it. Okay, so next up, these are a smidge smaller than these ones. Pretty certain they are. Let's put them next to each other and see. They might not be. Let's just see if they are. I think they're like a hair smaller. Like really. Yeah, they're just, I mean, like a teeny tiny amount smaller. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. Let's see if I have a little bit smaller. If not, it's not a big deal. I have like super smaller, but I might do that. We'll see. Okay. Let's roll with this one at least to hook these, and let's make these into earrings. Let's do that. Let's find my earring hooks. I'll just bring some of these over so that we have them. Okay. So when you're making earrings, it's super important to think about how it's gonna hook into the person's ear and how it's gonna hang, basically. So we want to make sure that we are setting it up for success to hang beautifully in the earring, and this one works out perfect the way doing that. So that will hang, you know, this part will go in the ear, and then this should be to the front. So pretty. I'm gonna put it over here on a black piece, and then I'll bring this up and show it close to the camera when we get all these made, since this is getting them done. So again, just hooking through. Now, if I hooked us through this way, then our hook would go here and the front would be the back side, and we just don't want that. So take a split second or 5, whatever you need to just think that through for yourself so that you don't have the heartache of having to take it off. Worst case, you put it on backwards. You just have to take the jump ring apart and fix it. It's not the end of the world. It's not gonna break you. It's just one of those things. If you can learn from me, then you don't have to worry about the heartache. Now these are super, super tiny jump rings, but we're gonna use them for this next group. So I got enough to do what we have in front of us, and I am going to pull enough earring pieces to do the same. There we go. Okay. That way we can just kind of cruise. This one's already open, which is nice. So I'm just gonna go in. I don't know if this is gonna give it enough hang off of. I guess so. Whoops. I was like, maybe I need to do a bigger jump ring so that we have a little bit more hang on it, but I think it'll be cute. They're adorable. Oh, they're so cute. I love this. I can't wait to do more things with cutting out ideas with my Cricut. Oh, I just closed that and didn't put the earring part on. Good job, good job. And I know it's hard to see the angles with this. One day I'll have a better camera set up and hopefully you can see these. But if you haven't watched some of my other resin earring making videos, definitely watch those, because I do go through a little bit more step by step in the beginning episodes or series of the things like this, so check that out, because that will help you. Like, I really slow down and walk through the entire process and try to show it on video. Tonight is a night that I just have to get these done, so I'm more just like, hey, you guys get to see the process, but it's definitely going to be a quicker get it done kind of situation here. And we're almost there. We've got 2 more earrings. Well, 1 pair. 2 more individual. That one did not want to close properly, so we'll give him a little extra assistance. And if you notice some of the dust from drilling, might be wise to just clean up your space and not work off of that area. It's just a little bit of dust, a little bit of water will wipe that up and off your pieces if that is bothersome to you. But again, this was a more, I'm making these tonight and I gotta get it done and recorded, and voila. Okay, so we're just cruising right along here. Got 1 more jump ring. I don't want to jinx myself, so we're just gonna keep cruising. The pliers slipped a little, and so I didn't have the right angle to close that jump ring. Okay, these are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna bring these up so you guys can see them on this black. Look at these. These are stunning. I'm gonna come even closer and go through each individual. So there's that set. The color is not really showing very well. There's a little bit better. I turned on my flash. That gives you an idea of the color a little bit more. And then these ones, just because, you know, when you're videoing, the colors don't always show as well as they are. Look how 3D those look. Amazing. Amazing. I just love them. They all have some unique character with them, and I think they turned out wonderfully. I hope you've enjoyed this little series. Again, just a recap. So, cut the paper with my Cricut for our shape. I did cardstock paper and then a thicker paper that is like an artist paper. And then I painted some of them with acrylic paint pens, some were alcohol markers, and then we've sealed all that with our UV resin. We did some accents with micas, and then we accented the back with mica in the UV resin, and then we turned them into these cute and fun earrings. Hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that follow button and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.